We have some pockets of intense and severe weather already back into Kentucky and more farther to the west and southwest, and we'll deal with that one at a time. First of all, let's take care of the current radar picture. Louisville, light to moderate rain, some intense rain right now across the river into Harrison County. Corydon, you're probably getting a fairly good downpour. Rain tapers off a little bit farther to our southwest over parts of southern Breckenridge, Hardin, and Grayson counties at the moment. This precipitation again is moving off to the northeast. We may get a little bit of a break here over the next half hour. Already deposited about a ½ inch of rain in the region. I should say about a 1/10 of an inch of rain in the Louisville area since it arrived here at about 6:30 this evening. So about 2/10 of an inch with this particular batch of moisture coming on through. Now off to our west. Here's McLean County right here. Owensboro is right there. So it's south of Owensboro, Davis County. This particular area right here has been designated by radar. No spotting of a tornado, but radar has indicated that there's a potential that a tornado could be developing in this region. And we have some late-breaking information right now, so let us go to Reed Yaden in the weather office with some more on this particular storm. Reed?
Okay, Ken, just in on the storm you were just spotting on the radar. About 7 minutes ago, a firefighter reported a funnel cloud east of Livermore. Now, this is in McLean County, about 40 miles southeast of Evansville. And then, about 6 minutes ago, a state police trooper reported a tornado briefly touching down just north of Livermore along Highway 431. So that Doppler signature was indeed a good one. We have confirmation now from 2 sources on the ground, and that tornado warning continues for McLean County till 6:15 Central Standard Time. Ken, that is the very latest from the weather office.
Okay, and taking a look at the storm once again, here it is. It's moving into the eastern sections of McLean County. This is Ohio County, Hancock County. Now we get over here, Breckenridge and Grayson counties. This particular storm moving to the northeast. Hopefully it will weaken, but if it's not, we're going to have to watch for the potential for some severe weather moving into the western sections of our viewing area within the next half hour to 45 minutes. As these storms are clipping right along, it speeds up to about 45 miles per hour. Let's go to Storm Watch now and show you a large area of potentially nasty, if not already nasty weather. We're going to set the stage again for you. We're up here in the corner with all the greens and blues. That's basically the flood warnings and the flood watches that surround us through the evening and nighttime hours. This particular area right here, that's McLean County, and the tornado warning that's in effect for about another half hour. Off to our southwest, tornado watch boxes in effect for western Tennessee, parts of Mississippi, northern Louisiana, Arkansas. In fact, this particular box right here has been very active over the last couple of hours. All this right here, even into southeast Missouri, these are tornado warnings that they've been issuing during the evening hours. Now, the hope is over the next few hours, with the sun down, that we will see some of this activity weaken. Even still, if it weakens, there's still the potential for another batch of heavy rain moving back into the region later on tonight. So let's go back to NextRad now and show you the activity as we have it. This is the rainfall total from this storm. Now, it's going to be a little bit hard to pick out and figure out, I suppose, but Louisville's right here. Some of these colors kind of blending in with one another. It's hard to pick out the counties, but this area of yellow right here, that is an area of the heaviest rain. In fact, maximum rain from this storm somewhere over 8.5 inches, as it has been recorded since 9 o'clock last evening, and that includes the southern sections of Jefferson County down through Bullitt, parts of northern Hardin, southern Meade, and also back into central sections of Breckenridge counties. This is a band of particularly heavy rain that came through here this morning and early this afternoon, diminished somewhat as it moved off towards Shelbyville, but then intensified once it got back up into the north central areas of Kentucky. In general, in this area here where you see the purples and the blues, you're looking at anywhere from about 3 to 5 inches of rain in general, with a maximum area of as much as 8 inches of rain. That has happened out at the National Weather Service office. They have had over 8 inches of precipitation. So here's the situation. Again, let's go back to Storm Watch one more time and show you that activity as we have it. Flash flood warnings in effect for basically our viewing area. The southernmost counties of Indiana, Clark, Floyd, Harrison, Crawford counties, as well as all of south central Kentucky until 9 o'clock this evening. After that expires, the flash flood watch continues overnight. We'll continue to watch this particular cell that is now in Hancock County. That's a tornado warning that's in effect for another half hour. The potential for severe weather exists this evening. Later on tonight, this area of precipitation that has been producing tornado warnings in parts of Arkansas and Missouri, that's going to move up over us sometime later tonight, perhaps towards midnight or the very early morning hours of Sunday, and again bring an end to this round of severe weather, bring an end to this round of flooding rains, but we still have a good 6 to 8 hours to go through before we can start to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Let's take a look at the forecast as we have it then through the evening hours. In fact, right now we'll stop, go back to the weather office because we have more weather information with Reed Gagan sitting on by. Reed, what do you have?
Okay, Ken, more on that tornado warning from McLean County. Police there in McLean County are reporting that tornado was moving along Highway 431 toward Davies County. That would put it moving toward Owensboro, toward the Davies County area. It's moving northeast at about 45 miles an hour, so moving along at a pretty good clip, and it does indeed bear watching. Ken, can you give us a radar view there and get a look at what we have coming up that we're watching possibly late tonight?
This is, again, a regional radar picture with the particular cell that you're talking about, Reed, being right here south of Evansville. That is McLean County. And again, folks in Hancock County, Ohio County, be on the lookout for the potential for some severe weather. That's going to be moving up and perhaps be a factor for Meade and Breckinridge counties over the next half hour or so. And here is that other line of intense and severe thunderstorms that's back in Arkansas. This is the cold front right here. It's going to take a while to get on through, but this is really what we're looking at to bring an end to this precipitation episode, but that's not going to happen until very early Sunday morning. Now, let's take a look at that forecast for you and talk about the flash flood watch that continues in effect for the area through the nighttime hours. The flood warning in effect for this general area where you're watching us until 9 o'clock.
Let's go to Ken Schultz, who's in the storm center, and he's following some new thunderstorm cells to the west of us. Ken, how does it look at this hour?
Well, let's take a look at NextRad radar, and first of all, pass on to you the tornado warning for McLean County has now expired. That storm has moved out of the county. It did produce a brief tornado about 3 miles north of Livermore. That is, again, in McLean County. That is south of Owensboro. Right now, we are looking at some intense thunderstorms that stretches from well south of Corydon in Harrison County, Indiana, to across the river into the northern sections of Meade County, the northwestern corner of Breckinridge, back through Hancock and into Ohio counties. These storms will be capable of producing a brief bout of heavy or torrential rain, as well as the potential for some severe weather. Now, no warnings are currently in effect other than flood warnings for the area until 9 o'clock this evening, but we'll continue to monitor that because every indication, at least using our NextRad radar, indicates that this line has intensified a little bit and could, if nothing else, produce some more and some additional flooding rain as it moves to the northeast through our viewing area. So we're going to track that particular line of thunderstorms. It should be approaching Louisville within the next hour, and again increase our rainfall rates here. Our rain lately has been on the order of a quarter to a half inch over the course of this last hour. This will intensify that rainfall rate as we go on in towards 8 and 9 o'clock this evening. So we'll watch that. That's the next bout of heavy or at least potentially severe thunderstorms headed in our direction and should be arriving through our viewing area within the next 1 to 2 hours. Melissa, Gary?
All right, Ken Schultz in the weather office. Thank you very much, Ken.
Thank you very much, Ken. And we want to pass along as we continue to watch the radar at the bottom of our screen.